everyone. My name is Elwin Wood. I'm here this evening to talk to you about Narcan. My audience is present and accounted for. Did you know that 15,000 people die each year of drug overdoses? There may be a solution. It's called Narcan. Narcan is not a new drug. It's been around for years. It is the increased availability that makes the difference. In August 2014, Governor Andrew Cuomo announced that Narcan training would be available to the general public and first responders. In November of that same year, Sullivan County announced that they would begin training law enforcement officers and EMS personnel. This training was designed to save lives. Over the next few minutes, I will talk to you about opiates and overdosing. I'll show you some eye-opening statistics. I'll show you how to use Narcan. I'll also show you how easy it is to use Narcan. I have not only seen Narcan work, but I've used it while on duty. Here's the overall that we just discussed, and we will continue now. What are opiates and what do they do? Opiates control the part of the brain that perceives pain and alters pain due to tolerance. Examples of the frequently prescribed prescription opiates are Demerol, fentanyl, methadone, morphine, oxycodone, and oxycontin. Street drugs are heroin and opium. I'm going to give you some statistics here from Sullivan County, from the coroner's office. 2012, we had 218 deaths in Sullivan County. 12 of those were from overdoses. 2013, we had 239 deaths in Sullivan County, 17 from overdoses. That doesn't sound like a lot, but that was a 41.6% spike. Here is the national overdose deaths, number of deaths from prescriptions, opiate pain relievers. If you look at that, from 2001 to 2006, we had a slight spike. Then it continued to go up, and in 2013, it leveled off. That seems to be good, but look at this. National overdose deaths from the number of deaths from heroin from 2001 to 2010 slightly rose. 2010 to 2013, look at the spike. This is what we're seeing also in Sullivan County. Overdoses. Let me go over this for a moment and tell you the causes of overdose. The obvious, too much drug. Prescribed, legally obtained. Mixing of drugs, combining drugs with alcohol. When you mix drugs and alcohol, obviously it is a deadly mix. Dealers messing with the potency of drugs. Dealers have a habit of cutting the drugs so they can make more money. They always don't cut it with stuff that is good for you. They use poisons, it can cause an overdose. And again, using drugs alone. People use drugs, they start to go into an overdose, and nobody to make the phone call to help them out. Recognizing an overdose. This is what everybody should watch for. Obviously, an overdose is using too much of a drug. Body becomes overwhelmed and unable to process the drug. You'll start experiencing extreme sleepiness, shallow breathing, lack of oxygen, fingernails, lips turning bluish purple, slow heart rate, and low blood pressure. What do you do if you experience somebody with an overdose? Immediately call 911. If you are Narcan trained, or if you know of somebody Narcan trained, start to administrate Narcan. Support breathing if needed. General information, not a new drug. It's been around since 1960. It's the availability today and the training that makes it such an effective drug. It counters the effects of opiate overdose. very low risk. If somebody is having a heart attack or the problem is not an opiate overdose, it will not harm the person. Right now, training, 41,000 New Yorkers have been trained now in New York State. Over 4,000 law enforcement officers has been training, and the training is continuing in Sullivan County. How is it given? There's 3 ways that it can be given. It can be given by an injection, intravenous, or nasal. Let me show you Narcan. This is the package it comes in. This is what it looks like. What you do is you put somebody in the rescue position that's laying on their side. You inject the Narcan into the plunger. You insert it in the nasal passage. Put half of the drug in one side of the nasal passage, half in the other side of the nasal passage. If it is an opiate overdose, you will immediately see reactions and the people will start to come around. Do not forget, continue to have 911 on their way. The person needs to go to the hospital because they can go back into another overdose within 30 to 90 minutes. You may have to then administer it again. Even though they come out of it, you think they're fine, make sure they go to the hospital. They will not be charged. Again, here's the Narcan, the packaging, and the way it looks. So this wraps up my speech tonight on Narcan. Couple of points. Don't put your head in the sand. Drug abuse, particularly heroin, happens all around you. Be alert to the signs of an overdose. Understand that prescription drugs use is just as dangerous as street drugs. Remember, Narcan administration is simple, easy, it saves lives. Most important, get trained. At the bottom of the screen here, you'll see a website that you can go on. You can learn on where training is next to you. Again, here's my audience for tonight. And thank you, and this wraps up my speech. Also, here's my sources of where I've gotten this information that I just lost, and my audience. Thank you.